Heavy rains have left a trail of destruction in parts of the Western Cape. Cleanup operations are underway after a severe cold front lashed the Mother City and Paarl with heavy downpours and wind. One person was seriously injured and several thousands left displaced across the province. There's also been massive destruction to infrastructure, leading to the closure of some roads. For more on this, let's bring in Tertuis Simmers, Western Cape Infrastructure MEC. MEC, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Can we start off with what you've been told in terms of the expectation for these conditions to continue in parts of the province into the long weekend?
Well, no, indeed. The latest report I've received from the Disaster Management Center is that they can foresee the cold front actually coming into the area over the weekend as well, which means beyond tomorrow, but also Saturday and Sunday as well. So we are expecting a possible further downpour over the weekend.
Can you tell us about the affected provincial routes?
No, indeed. One such example is the road in Paarl, which we have already dispatched emergency procurement, and the contractor have been on site. That is the major culvert C12328 as you head towards Paarl. I think one of the heaviest areas also affected is the Citrusdal access road, and we do have a team that have been dispatched to go and have a look. I believe they will be on site tomorrow morning as well. Then also the road which connects Algeria and Ceres. The lower water bridges are still flooded, and there are 4 places which have also washed away on that road. So drivers need to be well aware and obviously make use of alternative routes, which we indicate if you are on that road. Other road closures which will also have an impact on your traveling schedule. The Bainskloof Pass remains closed due to flooding, which means there is an alternative route for you there. The Franschhoek Pass remains closed because of the slipperiness. The Godini Road remains closed due to flooding. The Slanghoek Road, sections of the road has been totally washed away, but a single lane traffic has been put in place to accommodate those that do need to use that road. And we are also monitoring at the moment the R44 Clarence Drive, where we are continuously doing mop-up operations due to minor rockfalls. So once again, that will also affect our road users driving time, utilizing those roads. So from a provincial perspective, these are the key roads which I have been alerted to, and which I am updating all our viewers who are on the road and possibly are using those roads on their journey into our various areas of the province.
So you've pleaded with road users to respect and adhere to road closure signage where there are either diversions or where roads are completely impassable. Have you had instances where these closures have been ignored, people actually putting themselves in danger because they feel, well, hang on, I need to get somewhere and I'm going to use this road?
Well, the most recent update I've received is actually that I want to thank our road users for understanding the difficult circumstance and also being respectful to our request. So I do want to thank them because I've had no such reports at this time, which means they are adhering to our request.
Can you tell us about infrastructure damage? You've mentioned that parts of Slanghoek Road were washed away. And you've told us about several road closures. Can you talk to us about instances where perhaps, bridges have collapsed or retaining walls have been damaged to the point where, we see, rock slides or rock falls? How long is that going to take? And is that a problem of infrastructure simply not being up to the task, or the weather simply being so severe that, it was unforeseen?
Well, no, indeed, this is, to be quite frank, very severe weather patterns and weather downpour, which our infrastructure, I must say, or no proper future planning could have actually foreseen what we're experiencing now, which might well continue into the weekend. So in terms of our infrastructure's readiness, it was designed for a specific task. Obviously, notwithstanding, the weather pattern changes and its dire impact, obviously, on the broader environment as we're experiencing as well. We have been alerted to various infrastructure risks, spanning certain areas, which is why yesterday afternoon My CFO did sign off in terms of Delegation 69, which deals with the emergency procurement processes of our roads department to ensure that we dispatch teams. We have started the assessment of certain areas to assess the preliminary cost of the damage that has been incurred. And once we gain access to other affected areas, we will be able to have a final ballpark figure or an estimation in terms of the cost of the damage. So as we progress and as the weather permits our technical teams to actually go out into these affected areas across the Cape Winelands district and a small portion of the West Coast district area which has been affected, we will have a true picture of what is actually the real damage. But we are aware that various poor parts of roads have been totally washed away between 300 and 700 meters in certain instances.
Weather permitting, budget permitting, resources permitting, we know we're looking at various areas. There's a long list of roads you mentioned, but do you have any idea, estimates of time frames for the mop-up operations and repairs?
Well, indeed, and if I might take the road entering to Paarl as a good example, our technical teams were there yesterday. We have an estimated cost already, and the mop-ups will be commencing systematically. Also, the other roads I've alluded to, our technical teams will be going out tomorrow as follow-ups to be on the ground to do assessments, technical assessments, and where we do, the work area does allow our teams to do so. They will start with minor mop-ups immediately where there's incidents of rockfall. So our teams are on the ground. Obviously, to answer your question pertaining to budgets, we have, in terms of Delegation 69, initiated our emergency processes, which speaks to our system readiness in conjunction with our disaster management control officers' assistance to ensure that we are on the ground effectively and speedily as possible where the area permits our teams to gain access.
Thank you so much, and good luck with all those processes that need to happen. We can imagine you're going to be incredibly busy, lots of damage done, and thank you for your teams already being on the ground there in the Western Cape. Tertuis Simmers, Western Cape Infrastructure MEC, talking to us as the cold front and extreme weather hits that part of the world.